Few people are truly prepared to recognize when a loved one's time is drawing near. Even among older adults, there is a natural resistance to accepting the subtle signs the body and mind begin to show as life nears its final chapter. However, through decades of spiritual and medical exploration, notably by Edgar Cayce, renowned for his profound insights into the human spirit and health, we find that certain subtle patterns often emerge in the final phases of life. These signs aren't certainties, but important clues that many family members and healthcare professionals may overlook. Understanding these changes can empower us to offer greater comfort, presence, and peace to those transitioning toward the afterlife. This is not about instilling fear, but about fostering respect, empathy, and awareness. In this video, we will explore these indicators with clarity and compassion, drawing from Cayce's detailed accounts to illuminate this sacred process of farewell, withdrawal from the world. One of the earliest signs is a noticeable shift in a person's vital energy. Individuals nearing the end of their earthly journey tend to naturally withdraw from activities that once brought joy or seemed necessary. Simple routines like waking early or engaging in conversations may lose appeal. Instead, there is a growing desire for silence, stillness, and tranquility. Many interpret this withdrawal as depression or apathy, but Cayce viewed it as a natural soul process, an inward turning as the spirit slowly detaches from the physical realm. This transition is gradual, almost imperceptible, often first noticed by close family before medical professionals. Being present with warmth and attentiveness during this phase can profoundly ease the soul's journey. Altered perception of time. Another fascinating change is the alteration in how time is experienced. Those nearing the afterlife often lose their usual sense of chronological order. They may forget appointments, disregard schedules, or even confuse recent events with memories from decades past. This isn't necessarily a sign of dementia. Instead, it reflects a spiritual shift where linear time begins to dissolve. The soul appears to be preparing for a state of existence beyond earthly constraints, where time holds less meaning. While this can be confusing or alarming for caregivers, recognizing it as part of a natural transition offers comfort and patience. Changes in sleep and dream states. Sleep patterns also change dramatically. Some individuals sleep more than usual, while others may struggle with persistent insomnia. These disruptions represent the body adjusting its rhythms in preparation for a reality beyond the physical. Many report vivid, intense dreams during this period, often involving reunions with loved ones who have passed or mystical visitation experiences. Far from being hallucinations or signs of illness, Cayce considered these encounters part of a legitimate spiritual process, moments when the soul connects with the afterlife. Listening without judgment during these times is crucial, as the dreams and visions may carry deep messages or unresolved emotions from the spirit's journey. Appetite and physical needs shift. A noticeable reduction in hunger and thirst is common among those approaching death. While this can cause anxiety for caregivers, Cayce explained this as the body's natural disengagement from material needs. The physical form no longer prioritizes food or drink, reflecting a deeper detachment from the earthly plane. Of course, medical oversight remains important to ensure comfort, but it's equally vital to honor this as a sign of transition, not stubbornness or illness. Compassionate care here means focusing on comfort and dignity, rather than forcing intake, which can cause unnecessary distress. The inner gaze and communication. The eyes often reveal profound changes. There may be a distinct softness or inner light in the gaze, a quiet slowing of speech gestures and thought processes. Communication may shift from focusing on present realities to revisiting past memories, sometimes recalling long-forgotten moments. According to Cayce, this reflects the spirit's effort to review significant life events, almost like preparing a final spiritual accounting. This is a precious time for loved ones to listen deeply, validating memories with presence and love, helping the soul find peace. Heightened emotional sensitivity. As the transition deepens, emotional sensitivity increases. Individuals may become more easily moved to tears or display unexpected sweetness even in the face of pain or confusion. Cayce viewed this as a sign of spiritual expansion, a heart opening wider to emotions that truly matter. This stage often brings a yearning for forgiveness and reconciliation, with old grievances fading in importance. Those around them should honor these emotions as meaningful healing, rather than fragile reactions, providing support that nurtures peace. Intuitive awareness of passing. Many nearing the afterlife express an intuitive sense that their time is near, even without a formal diagnosis. Phrases like, "I'm ready," or "I've done what I needed to do," are common. Cayce emphasized that the soul knows its moment, even if the body hasn't yet shown definitive signs. Acknowledging and respecting these feelings opens a space for honest conversations and emotional closure, allowing the person to prepare for their journey without fear or denial. The growing inner light. Cayce also described a phenomenon he called the growing inner light. Despite physical weakness or pain, some individuals display an unshakable serenity, as if fear and anxiety no longer touch them. Families often report an overwhelming sense of calm and comfort in the presence of their loved one. This serene state is not due to medication or resignation, but indicates a deep spiritual connection and alignment with the afterlife awaiting them. Respecting this peaceful silence fosters a gentle, dignified passing. Presence over words, the greatest gift. Often families feel helpless, overwhelmed by grief or uncertainty. Cayce reminded us that the best support is simple and genuine presence. Sitting quietly, holding a hand, listening without rushing to fix or explain, offers profound comfort. Avoiding phrases that deny or dismiss the process, like "you still have time," makes room for sincere goodbyes. In these moments, truth, calm, and unconditional love become the greatest gifts we can offer. Letting go of the material world. As death approaches, people often lose interest in possessions or surroundings. They may donate belongings, organize important papers, or write letters. These actions symbolize a desire to leave a legacy, bring closure, and prepare their loved ones for life after they've passed. Cayce saw these gestures as arising not from rational thought, but from deep intuitive wisdom, a spiritual readiness to transition fully into the afterlife. Recognizing and supporting this process can create meaningful connections between generations, where stories and love endure, understanding the final journey and the afterlife. In the delicate moments at the end of life, where stories and deep affections are preserved with gratitude, a remarkable phenomenon often unfolds, one that Cayce, a compassionate observer of these final transitions, called terminal lucidity. People who have spent days or even weeks in confusion, weakness, or deep drowsiness suddenly become lucid. They awaken, recognize loved ones, and engage in clear, heartfelt conversations. This unexpected clarity, sometimes lasting from minutes to a few hours, is more than just a medical curiosity. For Cayce, it is a sacred gift from the soul, a final chance to express love, resolve lingering conflicts, or simply say goodbye. This moment of clarity holds profound meaning. Family members who witness it often describe the words spoken as sacred treasures, timeless messages that transcend ordinary understanding. It's not a moment for skepticism or questions, but an opportunity to gratefully embrace a profound connection between the living and the departing soul. During this brief window, people often say what has been unspoken for years, things that never needed to be said aloud until now. Cayce emphasized that this phenomenon ties deeply to the soul's journey toward the afterlife, where emotional closure and peace are essential for the spirit's smooth passage. Moreover, Cayce observed the powerful spiritual influence that the surrounding environment can have during this transition. The energy of the place where one spends their final days profoundly affects their tranquility and readiness for the afterlife. Chaotic, noisy, or emotionally charged surroundings can disturb even unconscious individuals, stirring unrest in the spirit. Therefore, Cayce recommended creating a peaceful space, quiet, clean, filled with natural light, and blessed by the calm presence of a loving caregiver. Simple acts like playing soft music or surrounding the person with cherished objects foster an atmosphere where the spirit can detach from the body with serenity. To Cayce, death is not an abrupt end, but a sacred return, a homecoming of the soul. When this transition is met with respect and harmony, it becomes less painful for both those who depart and those left behind. Creating such a nurturing environment is an act of profound love. The role of caregivers and loved ones' presence over perfection. Many family members, grandchildren, or caregivers feel unprepared, overwhelmed by the challenge of accompanying a loved one during this sacred time. Cayce often reassured them that there is no perfect way to act, only genuine ways. Simply being present with an open heart is the most valuable gift you can offer. It's not necessary to have all the answers, find the right words, or make every decision alone. Fear, sadness, and doubt are normal feelings. When embraced sincerely and without guilt, they transform into compassionate care. Sharing memories, shedding tears together, or laughing over old stories are essential parts of this farewell process. It need not be heavy or silent. It can be a ritual of affection where every gesture communicates what words often cannot. Cayce also highlighted the importance of respecting each individual's unique timing. Signs that the end is near may not follow a predictable order. Sometimes these signs appear months in advance, while in other cases they manifest intensely and suddenly. The focus, therefore, should not be on anticipating the end, but on treasuring the present moment. When we recognize that every gesture, conversation, and silence could be the last, our way of living transforms. We listen more attentively, judge less, and become truly present. Cayce taught that the final phase of life is as meaningful as any other, and when embraced with awareness and love, it can transform not only the departing, but also those who remain. Welcoming these signs with respect and empathy is a way of honoring the life shared and the impending transition to the afterlife. The healing power of forgiveness at life's threshold. Another crucial element Cayce emphasized is forgiveness. Many carry old grudges, hoping time will heal wounds that in reality have only been buried. As the proximity of death becomes clear, these unresolved emotions often rise to the surface. Cayce believed that forgiveness, whether given or received, holds transformative spiritual power. It is not about forgetting the past, but about freeing the heart for peace. A simple request, a sincere look, or a gesture of reconciliation can dramatically change the atmosphere of those last days. Even if the other person is no longer physically present, the intention to forgive can create profound spiritual effects. This moment may be the ideal time to break free from old burdens. Forgiveness in this context is not merely relief. It is a final gift of love to oneself and to others. Honoring final wishes, respecting the soul's last requests. It is common for those nearing the end to express specific desires, perhaps a favorite song, a simple meal, a visit from a beloved friend, or quiet time in reflection. Cayce stressed the significance of these requests. Even the smallest acts of attending to them honor the individuality and dignity of the person passing. These requests often symbolize the completion of a life cycle, a delicate closing chapter. Ignoring such wishes may seem minor, but can lead to lasting regrets. Conversely, listening and respecting them provides comfort to everyone involved, creating serene memories and strengthening bonds through to the very end. This respect is a spiritual tribute, a way of saying to the soul, "You were seen, cared for, and welcomed as you deserve in all aspects of existence." The sacred gaze, a window to the soul's readiness. One of the most profound signs Cayce encountered in his studies was the change in the eyes of those nearing death. Regardless of age or physical condition, their gaze transforms. It gains a silent depth, a clarity that family members often describe as confronting something greater than themselves, as if time itself has stopped. This gaze is not marked by fear or pain, but by acceptance, a silent communication that the soul has made peace with life and is prepared to move toward the afterlife. Even skeptics of spiritual realms recognize this moment as sacred. Witnessing it is transformative forever, marking those present. In that instant, it becomes clear that life does not end. It simply changes form and love remains. Embracing death as a natural, dignified passage. From Cayce's decades of observation, it's evident that death need not be a taboo subject. When faced with clarity and courage, death becomes a natural stage of existence, one that can be met with dignity and serenity. Talking openly about end-of-life wishes, clarifying desires, and preparing emotional bonds are acts of maturity and care. Families who approach this process with openness tend to experience less suffering, transforming fear into presence. Cayce believed that the more we discuss death naturally, the more we value life. Silence and avoidance only breed anxiety. Respectful dialogue enables everyone to live more truthfully. Recognizing the signs, understanding their meanings, and welcoming them gently allow us to live fully until the very last moment. A legacy of love, awareness, and transformation.